너랑 나랑 모든 게 다 거짓말 같아 나랑 1분 2분 시간이 뭐가 왜 이리 복잡해 내 맘 어떡해 자꾸 나 색안경을 끼고 보지 마요 난 좀 다른 여자.
As much as I like cutish K-pop concepts, I do think one of their purpose is to appeal to pedophiles. K-pop stans love to fall into cognitive dissonance when it comes to this, but yes, a lot of creative directors, CEOs, and producers have weird fantasies and wish to sell a certain fantasy to certain fans. People like to pretend that people calling weird intentions behind certain songs out are the real weirdos for simply connecting the dots. A lot of fans calling out companies for hiding secret messages into songs of their idols aren't projecting, they are simply aware of how this industry has worked. The Produce 101 director went to jail, and one of the things revealed about him is that he wanted to create a survival show that caters to the fantasies of. Just recently, a new survival show was announced that only allows trainees under the age of 13. We've had music videos with very suggestive lyrics specifically sung by minors. Fandoms are not an identity, and therefore cannot be oppressed. There are genuinely people out there who will tell you to not speak on certain K-pop groups unless you're a part of that fandom, or they'll go around and say XYZ fandom treats XYZ group like as if that's not a bunch of random people who all have nothing to do with each other than liking the same group. Trust me, you are not the victim for standing a certain group. You, as an individual part of a fandom, cannot take credits for anyone's achievement, and most importantly, you look stupid as hell for taking criticism towards an idol personally. You are just a random pedestrian on the street thinking standing a certain group is an identity or a personality trait, and I need you to wake up now. Kiss of Life are the best 4th to 5th gen performers. I just watched their covers of Blackpink and tzuyu on the Fact Music Awards show, and I got reminded of times when K-pop award shows used to be so much fun. This is what you call a real performance. It genuinely felt natural to them. Most of the time when K-pop idols try to put on this confident persona and yell into the mic, it feels so forced and not true to their personality, but with Kiss of Life it genuinely looks like they enjoy what they are doing. Similar to tzuyu, as much as I am not a fan of them. K-pop covers and award show performances blow up all the time on Twitter, but it's mostly just idols scrunching their face and giving us a lackluster dance break with absolute no power whatsoever. But this performance was genuinely so enjoyable. If you buy more than 3 albums of the same version, you might have to be put into a psych. There is no printed mini picture in the world that would make me understand spending $80 for a higher probability of owning it, not even confirmed, just a higher probability. This is like gambling, and I'm all with South Korea for treating gambling like you another person because you genuinely end up on the streets if you fall too deep into that addiction. I just think they should extend the law to collectible fan merch. Because some of you are actually insane. And saying 3 is actually me being very generous, because even 2 is odd to me. But then there are entire cults of people who will buy 800 albums for a photocard or a fan call who are roaming around the streets among us. Literal environment. Most of Twice's vocal tones are absolutely unbearable. I always wondered why the new Twice releases don't hit as much as the pre-2019 songs did, and I came to the conclusion that they are not made to sing regular songs. Their voices worked perfectly fine for cutesy songs, but the new songs have a vision that require real vocalists who don't sing through the nose. Choruses that are made for singers like Taeyeon are then given to Naeon. Speaking of Naeon, giving her any chorus is a mistake. Either we make them go back to their cutesy releases or Twice becomes a group like Pussycat Dolls where one member sings and the rest acts like props. And Jeongyeon being the only one allowed to sing, maybe sometimes Sana and Jihyo too, but the rest needs to not sing at all, especially not Momo with her nasally ass tone. This reminds me that I genuinely think that Tsuyu's debut could have been a hit if it wasn't Tsuyu's debut but maybe Jeongyeon's. Her voice sounds like someone who is sad and drunk and tries to hit the highest note but just ends up yelling in your ear.
대표님! 옆선에 다보는 성구안에 한 번 더 존경을 표해 어떻게 해도 도저히
소녀시대 15주년을 진심으로 축하한다. 앞으로도 좋은 아티스트가 되려면
돈 많아 강아지 유진이 현석이.
There is no good CEO and no good company in K-pop. And they are not meant to be. These people are using minors, isolate them from their parents, make them train day and night until most of them get some sort of chronic disease, then debut them under strict regulations and inhumane conditions, such as restricting their mobility or love life, then make them perform 24/7 just to reap all the profits off of their work and give them some crumbs in return. When idols talk positively about their CEOs, it is most likely manipulation from a very young age, because no normal person would love someone who calls them fat, makes them dance inappropriately in front of a bunch of adults under the guise of trainings and evaluations, and then has the audacity to make money off of one's hard work. That's a literal parasite and would be labeled as such in any scenario, but somehow the worker versus employer relationship in K-pop is so romanticized. JYP, Zico, Min Heejin, Lee Soo-man, Yang Hyun-suk are not parental figures to these idols, but exploiters and deserve to be treated as such, and I do not care if the idols themselves think differently.